welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Centeria, the Millionaire Mommy. So into this video, y'all, I'm just feeling a little off today, and I kind of wanted to express some things and just clear some things up. So anyways, Today, I ended up leaving the house. I got so mad at my kids, and I know that from time to time, we're supposed to do things for ourselves and, be a human and not just be a mom. So, I ended up leaving because I just got real frustrated, and it is 7:27 at night. I've been gone for a long time. I ain't been doing nothing but shopping. But anyway, so I kind of want to give you a little bit of backdrop, and then I'm going to tell you where I'm going with this. So, my son, Sammy, he kind of said some things that were really not nice, and they hurt my feelings. As we know, I'm on a weight loss journey, and if you don't know, I recently had bariatric surgery, the duodenal switch, and 2 weeks out tomorrow makes 2 weeks, and it's a lifestyle change. So I have started to remove a lot of starches from our diet. When I say a lot of starches, I mean, like stuff that we don't need. Rice and cookies and all this bread stuff. We've been in a process of removing that since January, and this is the middle of May. So my son, I said we were for dinner. I didn't know what to make, but I had some quinoa. So I looked up a recipe, or how we look up stuff on Google or Pinterest, and I found this recipe. It's quinoa fried rice, and I thought, oh my God, my kids would love it. They love shrimp, and I could incorporate that in some vegetables and whatever else, and that's a good meal. So I literally bought all the ingredients, all this Asian stuff. We went to the Asian store, okay? Bought all of this stuff, and I was so excited to come home and make it for him. And Sammy had some really negative things to say, and really he hurt my feelings. So he's been saying these things for a while, but I've kind of been, Sammy, this is a change, and we need to do this because we're trying to be healthier, and just trying to encourage him, right? But I realized that I've been kind of weak, and it's okay to be weak, but the reason why I wanted to tell you about this was because I realized that there was something very important that I needed to learn through this. First off, I made all of the food. Took my time making all of the ingredients, and couldn't eat any of it because I'm still on a liquid diet. Can you see? I still even got my bandages on. So I'm on a liquid diet. I cannot eat any of it. But I've been making food, trying to, be creative for them so that they feel a little bit better about the change in their diet. And he was just being a 14-year-old. So what I learned in this time is that the Lord's strength is made perfect in our weakness. And I was so weak, y'all. I was so weak. I legit went off on my 14-year-old, and I left. I left the house, and I ain't been back. I'm going back. But I did need to go and run some errands, and I just felt like that was the perfect time to go and do these errands by myself. So when he started making those comments about the quinoa and the changes in our diet, what I didn't realize was that he's 14. He's been eating bad things and rice and starchy things, and let's go and just eat Mexican food and whatever we want for 14 years. Like I never saw a problem with it because that was what I did. So he did what I did. And it's hard in less than 6 months because we're in the middle of May, and I've been changing their diet for a total of 6 months. For 6 months, we've been phasing out all of the bad things. So it's a change that I'm trying to take all of those things that he's been used to for 14 years. I'm taking them away in less than 6 months. And I didn't realize how hard that was for him. I was just being selfish and thinking about me. So I do have some work to do as a mother, as an adult, to go home and speak to him about my actions, and not understanding and being, compassionate enough about the fact that this is a change for him, and it's a big change. He didn't have surgery. I had the surgery. I feel it. He doesn't. He probably, I'm telling you, I guarantee, he's a boy. He don't get why we doing this. He knows mommy needs to be healthier and to get rid of diabetes, but he don't get the whole, show. For him, this is a straight shit show. She took all of my stuff, all of my snacks, no ice cream. She already stopped the McDonald's a long time ago. So this is a real shit show for him. But I also realized that in this moment, he took me back to a place that I hadn't been in a long time. So his father was really, really abusive to me. I mean, very abusive. He was physically abusive, verbally abusive, like any type of abuse you can name, he was. When I met him, we grew up across the street from each other. So I'd known him for a long time. But when we really started in a relationship, I was like 19, 19. I was 18, lying. I was 18. And by the time that I had Sammy, I was 19. And, my mom, she kind of didn't do much talking about boys, but according to the life that she lived and the stories that she told me, I thought that a woman was supposed to take care of her man. I'm supposed to cook and clean and have babies, and that's what I thought I was supposed to do. For real, I'm supposed to take care of my man. And that's what I tried to do. I would cook, I would clean, I would do all these things, but nothing was ever good enough. Nothing. He would say really nasty things to me about, what I cooked. I couldn't cook. I couldn't cook. I couldn't clean. I couldn't fill out a job application. I couldn't type. I couldn't do nothing. There was nothing that I could do. And I say fill out a job application and type because there were instances when I would type, he would say, I told you couldn't do shit right. Look, you can't even type. You can't even type. You can't make a resume. What can you do? Besides having a baby, what can you do? And, it really, really put a damper on my self-esteem and my spirits because I thought that I wasn't good enough. That's the first man I've ever been with. I'd never been with nobody else but him. First man. And I have a kid by him, and I'm not good enough. What am I? If I can't please him, take care of him, what am I? And at 19, cognitively, you're not there. You're not there. My body's there. I got all the things that I need that a man would want. But cognitively, I am not there. I hadn't lived long enough to be there. I hadn't lived long enough. I didn't know what I was worth. I didn't know my value. I ain't know none of that. Okay. I legit thought that I wasn't good enough. And when he would say things about, the way that I would try to cater to him or cook to him, it really made me work harder. It made me work harder trying to please him more, or cook for him more. What is it that I can do? Y'all, I didn't even know what short ribs was. His favorite meat is short ribs. I didn't know what that was. But I legit went and found some short ribs, and I looked up recipes, tried to cook them, and he would not even eat the food. He told me that if he ate it, he'd die, and he threw it away. And I spent all day making that one meal for him, and he wouldn't eat it. And I realized that I didn't realize this today, but I do realize that I've held that. That was 14 years ago, and I've been holding on to it for 14 years. There's times when I won't cook nothing for nobody other than my kids, and the only reason I cook for them is because I ain't got no choice. If I don't, I probably might go to jail. But I won't cook for anybody because I feel that I still have those feelings that I'm not good enough. 19-year-old Centeria allowed him to penetrate me so deeply that I still look at me sometimes as the person that can't do things right. And when my son was trying to profess how, displeased he was with the changes in his diet, all I heard was him regurgitating those words that his dad told me 14 years ago. That's all I heard. He was feeling, deprived and restricted, and I was feeling battered and bruised. Yep, battered and bruised. And it takes a big person, you know, to go back home, which is what I'm about to do after I go in this grocery store, to go back home and to talk to him and to explain to him why his mother reacted the way that she did. I reacted the way that I did because I heard him treating me or saying things to me that his father used to say to me. Things that hurt my feelings, things that put me down, things that made me feel less than a person. And that is not what I am. I have been his mother and the other kid's mom for a long time. I cook every day, whether it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just dinner, breakfast and dinner, whatever they eat. I've taken care of them. I did something right. Something. We overweight and we don't go to restaurants all the time. So I did something. And we don't eat Hot Pockets and TV dinners. But I wanted to say that I realized that this moment of weakness, there's strength in this. This is how I strengthen myself, or how I become stronger. I stand up to this. And for a long time, y'all, I've been feeling this way and I just never say anything. I never say anything and I don't express those feelings because I feel like it's a form of weakness and I don't want to be weak. But at some point in my weakness, there's strength. This is my strength, expressing this. There's, you know, a lot. There's a lot that's happened, a lot of abuse and, you know, trauma and whatever you could think of that I've had in my life. It ain't been no easy ride. This is not no easy ride. But I don't want to be that person that holds on to this. If I'm letting go of the weight, I think that I should be letting go of those emotions and those feelings and all those things that are holding me back, because that's holding me back too. That's holding me back. There's no way that I can't do something right. There's no way. There's no way. I'm doing something right. I got to be doing something right. So, anyways, I'm going to go because I needed to express that. I needed to get that off my chest. And I know that there's a lot of women out there that legit have been or are in abusive situations. And girl, you may not know. You may not know that you don't know, because I didn't know. I didn't know that that was abuse. I didn't know that that's not what I wanted. I knew that it didn't feel good, but I really didn't know how to get out of it. I just didn't. I was 19, and I don't want to keep saying 19 like that's an excuse, because it's not. A lot of people just don't know. And I think that that's okay if you just don't know. It's okay. At some point you'll learn. You'll step into it. It'll be introduced to you. You'll cross paths with it. It's a collision course, a crash course. You gonna get it. It's gonna happen. It's up to you whether you walk away from it. Or it's also up to you whether you stay in it. For me, I don't want to stay in it. This is hard. Like, I don't want to be the person that constantly downs myself or belittles myself, or hear his voice in the back of my head telling me that I'm not good, telling me that I'm nothing when I am. So for a long time, I've chose to suppress, those feelings and just smile and keep going. But no, because they're still coming up. And now they're coming up and I'm reacting towards my 14-year-old. And I cannot do that. It takes a big person to legit go home and have this conversation. I don't often want to tell my kids what their father did, or, the circumstances between me and their dad. I don't like to tell them that. I don't want to paint him as the bad picture. Or the bad person, I should say. My kids do want to know, though. A lot of times they want to know what's going on, or what happened, what did he do, or they want to know those things. And so this is one of those teaching moments that I think is important. I think it's really important that I get to talk to my son, and I can't teach him or train him how to be a man, but I get to talk to my son and he gets to hear it from his mom. I'm the first woman that he'll ever love, and he gets to hear it from me. What he should not do to a woman, and why it hurts, or why it can damage her. So that's important to me. And you know what? I accept the challenge. So I'm so grateful that during this time when I left and I got to roam around and go grocery shopping, I got to really sit in this, and I got to realize what strength it is in this situation, because this is really, really powerful, y'all. I get to go home and talk to my baby and tell him what he should not do and why he shouldn't do that. I told him before I left the house that he hurt my feelings, and you know, I kind of was fussing, obviously, but now I get to go home and be a calm-headed person and sit down and have an important conversation with him. And I think that that's important. I don't want him to turn out to be one of those men that are abusive and that, you know, down women or, you know, disempower women. I don't want him to do that. I don't. That is, no man should ever do that, ever. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Please don't forget to comment down below. Tell me, have you had an abusive partner or spouse, and what did you do? How did you handle it? Are you out of the situation? Are you still in it? Comment down below. Let me know. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe.